Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel and welcome to a new reading vlog. So in today's video, we are going to focus on series. We are going to focus on continuing series that I am in the middle of, maybe even finishing one or two. I love series. I am a series girl through and through. I feel like as a fantasy reader that kind of comes with the territory, but the amount of series that I am in the middle of, it's a lot. It's honestly overwhelming, and that is what today's video is all about. We're going to work at that list a little bit, whittle it down, and I'm going to be reading about 3 or 4 books that I've been really excited about and are going to help me get closer to finishing those series and finally complete them. So first up, let's talk about my current read, which is Rebel Witch by Kristin Ciccarelli. This is a duology, which I don't think is technically a series, but I'm still excited to finish the Crimson Moth duology, and that feels like I'm completing a series to me. So we're gonna go with it. Rebel Witch is the highly anticipated sequel to Heartless Hunter. That is a book that I read last year. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It is a YA fantasy romance, and it follows a witch and a witch hunter. Our witch hunter is named Gideon. He has been tracking down the Crimson Moth, the famed Crimson Moth, for so long. And when Rune, our main character, who is a witch and is the Crimson Moth, when they meet, sparks fly. They are supposed to be enemies, but there's just so much tension between them, and we follow their romance and their warring feelings as they know that they shouldn't be together and shouldn't be attracted to one another, but they just can't resist. Book 1 ended in a crazy and devastating cliffhanger. Rebel Witch came out in February, and today is March 1st, so this is my first read for the month of March, and I started this morning. I am already on page 300. I am loving this. I did not expect to like this book as much as I am liking it. It is so good. The romance is so well written, so tension filled, so much yearning. It's beautiful. It's like taking my breath away how much these characters feel for each other, how conflicted they are. Like, you can feel that. You can feel the tension. You can feel them struggling to want to be together, but there's a laundry list of reasons for why they shouldn't be together. I am obsessed. I honestly did not think that I was going to like this more than Heartless Hunter, because typically with duologies, I feel like the first book is like really good and has that build up, and it's kind of like the main focal point of the duology, and then the second book in a duology kind of feels like a slow march to wrapping up plot lines, and I don't know, I tend to have less luck with the second book in a duology. But in this case, I think I'm liking this more than Heartless Hunter. Kristin Ciccarelli has kept the tension and honestly has turned up the tension. Like, stakes are really high, things are so bad after the events of Heartless Hunter, and we're still getting that overwhelming romance, and it's just so well written, and I love these characters, and I'm having so much fun with this book. And it's so fast paced, but not in a way that feels like we're rushing. It's honestly working for me on every single level. I am loving it so much. Gideon is everything to me. I love Gideon so much. He is, oh my god, new book boyfriend alert. Like, he's incredible. And Rune is such a fun character to root for. I'm really having a great time with this book. I think it's amazing. And I think I'm gonna finish it today, which is pretty crazy because this book is almost 500 pages, but I cannot be stopped. I need to know how this is going to end. I'm at a really crazy part in the book right now. I've got about 150 pages left. So I am going to sit down and read a little bit more of this, and I will talk to you guys when I have another update. Okay, so I'm a little less than 100 pages from the end of Rebel Witch. It is crazy. I am kind of surprised by some of the like plot and like events that are happening right now, but it's really chaotic and bad, and just like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do, Kristin, to finish off this book, but I'm really loving it still. And I just wanted to talk about the like banter in this book. I think it's really well written. It is so funny and witty. Their sense of humor just really works for me, and I just feel so much chemistry between our characters. Chemistry is something that I feel like is so important between characters, which I know is like kind of an obvious thing to say, but it's one thing to write a romance where the characters are like attracted to one another, right? But it's a whole other thing to make us, the reader, believe that these two characters truly get along, that they truly enjoy one another, that they understand each other so well, that they bounce off of each other so wonderfully, and I just really feel that in this book. There's a ton of chemistry and it feels very real. So I'm really enjoying that. This is just really good. I'm not like surprised that I'm liking this because I liked the first book, but I'm seriously loving this book and I think it's just fantastic. Like, I have nothing bad to say. I'm having so much fun with it. And I love Gideon so much. I know that like I literally just said that in my last check-in, but it bears worth repeating. Gideon, forever. He is everything to me. And speaking of Gideon, I need to go back. I need to go back to my man that I share with Rune. I will finish up this book. I'll let you guys know my final rating and thoughts once I'm done. I actually think the next book that I'm going to start is Apples Dipped in Gold by Scarlett St. Clair. So this is book 2 in a fairy tale retelling series, and I believe it's interconnected standalones. In the first book, we met these like 7 Fae brothers, and I think they're all princes, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a book for each of the brothers. And the first book is Mountains Made of Glass. It was very fun. They are a bit shorter and they're like pretty spicy, so they're kind of like, I don't know if they're officially novellas. They kind of feel like that, but they're usually around like 200-ish pages, and they're fairy tale retellings, and they just focus on these brothers and each of their romances. So book 2 is Apples Dipped in Gold, and I just think it'd be fun to pick that book up next because I've been thinking about picking it up for such a long time. I want to say it came out in like October, so I've had it for quite a while now. As if like I don't have books that have been sitting on my shelves for 2 years that I haven't picked up, but baby steps, we're working on it. So I'm gonna finish Rebel Witch and then I'll probably start Apples Dipped in Gold. That is a pretty short book, so we'll see how quickly I can get that done. But I'm so excited to finish a book on the first day of the month. That just feels very productive, and I'm so happy that it's a book that I'm enjoying. So I'm gonna go finish Rebel Witch and I'll talk to you guys later. Hi friends, so let's talk about my first and second book for this reading vlog. I have finished both of them. First up, Rebel Witch. You guys, I gave this 5 stars. I'm so happy. This is my third 5-star of the year. Did not expect to give it 5 stars, which is kind of like the best feeling ever. I love giving a book 5 stars when I really don't expect to. I liked this more than Heartless Hunter. I thought that the romance was better. I thought the plot was a lot more interesting. I just devoured this book. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I love the way that it ended. I just love everything about this. 10 out of 10 recommend. This is definitely going to be one of my favorite fantasy romance duologies. It's really good, and I'm so happy that I read it. So yeah, 5 stars for Rebel Witch. And then I did read Apples Dipped in Gold by Scarlett St. Clair. Did not check in with you guys, 1, because this book is so short, but 2, really don't have much to say on this one. This is going to be a 2-star read for me. The thing about this series is these are short, fun, very unserious, spicy fantasy fairy tale retellings. So I don't expect to walk away from this series with like a 5-star all-time favorite, but the first book in the series, Mountains Made of Glass, I really enjoyed. I gave it 3 stars, and personally for me, for what the series is, 3 stars is a good rating. So I was really looking forward to this, but I actually liked it less than Mountains Made of Glass. It felt really all over the place, and the dialogue was very over the top, and I just wasn't into the story and the romance dynamic as much as I was in book 1. In this book, we're following Samara. Samara lives with her 3 older brothers. They are very abusive and terrible to her, and she's basically just trying to survive, living with them, thinking her life is really never going to amount to anything. One day, a prince comes along and says, "Hey, I want to marry you." And she's like, "Okay, well, you'll have to ask my brothers." Her brothers do request that the prince gives them silver and gold in exchange for their sister. He agrees. The prince whisks Samara off to her new life, but on the way, their carriage gets attacked, and Samara runs into an elven prince named Lore. He is the Prince of Nightshade, and these two actually have a history. Lore is also cursed and needs Samara to help him get out of that curse. So that's kind of the setup of the book. What I will say that's positive about this book is it's very whimsical, and the imagery is very beautiful. Like, this magical enchanted forest is really stunning, and I really liked that, but the characters and the romance and just the dialogue, it was too much for me. So not a favorite. I think I probably will pick up the next book in the series because they're all a little bit different, and maybe I'll get that same feeling that I got from Mountains Made of Glass, but this one was just less enjoyable than Mountains Made of Glass. Next up for this continuing series vlog, I'm going to read Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Once again, is this a series? No, but I am continuing on in the Shepherd King duology, but it's counting. We're just gonna make it count. I'm really excited to finish this off. I really want to see where our characters end up. I did recently reread One Dark Window so I could be fresh going into this book. I'm really glad that I did. I don't really know how things are gonna end. Things are pretty bad at the end of One Dark Window. We have a lot to do, and I'm hopeful maybe I'll have another experience like I did with Rebel Witch where I will actually like this one more. He is one of my favorite fantasy male main characters. He is so great, and for this not technically being a fantasy romance, it feels like a fantasy book with such a strong romance subplot that you could almost call it that. So I think if you're a fantasy romance lover, you would really like One Dark Window. I hope that the romance is as good in book 2. So I'm gonna sit down and start this. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit once I have some thoughts on it. Hello friends, how are we? Let's talk about Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I am currently on page 266, so I'm over the halfway point. I just love this paperback so much. Like, this is such a well-constructed paperback. This and One Dark Window. I love the texture, I love the size, it smells really good. This is just a really good paperback. But anyway, back to my thoughts of the contents of this beautiful paperback. I am liking this. I don't think I'm liking it as much as One Dark Window. And the main reason is, in the most vague way that I can put this, because I don't want to spoil anyone who has not read this yet, I just wish that we got to see more of Elspeth. I do. Like, she's there, but she's not as present as she was in book 1, and there are plot reasons for that, which I get, and I think that the plot is really cool, interesting, intricate. I can see how much this author planned. I am liking the book. I just wish we got more of her, and my favorite part about One Dark Window is the romance between Elspeth and Raven, and that is definitely taking a back seat in this book. And there's another romance that we're focusing on, which is cute, but it's not Raven and Elspeth. I don't know, like, I'm enjoying those scenes, but I really wish that we got to see a little bit more of Raven and Elspeth in this book. And like I said, I understand why things are where they are, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm still just kind of missing that, and I think that is some of the charm of book 1 that I'm missing. I am liking this book, I'm just less entertained by it, I think. So that's where I'm at, but by no means is this a bad book. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is, you know, a different flavor than One Dark Window. I'm missing some of the things that I really liked in book 1 in this book, but I still think it's good. So that's where I'm sitting right now with Two Twisted Crowns. I think I'm gonna try to finish this book today. Yeah, I've got like less than 200 pages, so I definitely think that I can knock this out before the night is over. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna sit down and read more of Two Twisted Crowns, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. All right, besties, so I finished Two Twisted Crowns this morning, and I'm gonna go with a 3-star rating. I did enjoy myself. I really love this world. The writing is very atmospheric. I love the gothic vibes, and I do like all of our characters. I just wish we got more of Elspeth. I think my favorite thing about One Dark Window is Raven and Elspeth's dynamic, and like I said earlier, I totally understand why things played out the way that they did. I just wish we could have got a little bit more time with them. I did think the ending of this book was really sweet. I really enjoyed it. I was sad to see these characters go. I really like the nightmare, which is not something I thought I would have said probably in One Dark Window, but I think the nightmare is really cool. But this is just not as good as One Dark Window in my opinion, but I still really liked it. I think this duology overall is definitely worth it. I'm excited to have completed another series / duology. All right, and that brings us to the final book for this reading vlog, and honestly the book that I've been the most excited to pick up, A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I am ready for the emotional devastation. I want my feelings hurt. I want to be shook. I want to be a shell of a human after I finish this book. I don't know if that's gonna happen here because it is only the second book of the series, but I've just heard that the series gets crazier and crazier and that Sabaa Tahir does not pull punches, which I'm really looking forward to experiencing. If you don't know what the An Ember in the Ashes series is about, we follow 2 characters, Elias and Laia. Laia lives in a society where her and her people are considered slaves. After an act of treason by one of her family members, this kickstarts Laia's desire to join the rebellion and try to save her family. On the flip side, we have Elias. Elias is the highest ranking student student in this kingdom's military academy, but he's really unhappy, sad boy hours, doesn't really know if he believes all that he's fighting for, and their paths converge in just the most interesting and chaotic and wild way. The first book was really crazy. I loved the ending. I think it has set up A Torch Against the Night to be so good, and I just can't wait to dive in. So I'm gonna start this book. I'll let you guys know what I think of it once I'm a little bit into it. Hi friends. Oh my god. I am reading A Torch Against the Night. I'm only like 40% of the way through. I love this book so much. I seriously feel like I am in the middle of reading one of my favorite series of all time. Like, this is going to become one of those series that is so important to me, defines my reading, leaves such an impact on me. I'm only on book 2. And I'm only 40% of the way through book 2, so that's probably way too early to say, but oh my god, I am so obsessed with these characters. This plot is amazing, the world is crazy, the twists and turns. I am just so in love with everything about this book. Oh my god, Elias and Laia are everything to me. Two of my new favorite characters, easily. Like, I love this book so much. I feel like it is so much better than book 1, which is crazy because book 1 was fantastic. I gave it a 4-star, very strong 4-star. I feel like the reason why it wasn't a 5-star for me was the trial aspect that Elias went through. I think just with trials, I'm just burnt out on that. Trials are in so many fantasy books, and it's not to say that I'm not going to continue to pick up fantasy books with trials in them, but I am a quest girl. Give me a fantasy book with a quest and I am so in, and that's really what this book is. Our characters are going on a quest, they're going on a journey. So this book is just feeding my quest loving soul, and I feel like that's why I'm liking this book so much more, because we are on an adventure. The stakes are so high. We're camping in the middle of God's nowhere during the night and having to rely on each other, and oh my god, I just love it so much. I seriously think this book is going to ruin me. I think it's going to be really crazy. I'm very nervous about so many things and the fates of our characters, and I just don't know what to think, but I'm really enjoying it. Oh, I also did want to say we have Helene's POV in this book, and I'm so happy about that because one, multi-POV fantasy, absolutely love it. And then second, Helene to me in the first book, I was just kind of like, ugh, okay girl, you seem nice, but I'm not as interested in your storyline. But now that we have her POV, I find her to be fascinating, and I think her perspective is so important and so needed, and I really like her. So I'm really glad that we now have her POV as well. She is such an important character, and her perspective and what she's dealing with in relation to our other characters is so significant. So I'm really loving that as well. This is going great. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm loving it so much, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Wait, hi, okay. 86% of the way into this book. I can't. I don't even know where to start. No, I literally don't even know where to start. Hold on a second, I have to think about this. Number one, I guess, just since we've last checked in, so many bad things have happened. Can't talk about them, spoilery, but yeah, bad. Also, crazy reveal just happened. Crazy reveal. Like, didn't see that coming at all. So terrible. What the hell? It literally makes me want to already go back and reread Never in the Ashes and like start this book all over to see if I catch things. I feel like now looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, I see some of that, but also what the heck? We've also been introduced to a new character. His name is Taz. He's a child. I'm really stressed. I'm really stressed about him. It's so funny. Children in like a contemporary romance book, I find a little bit irritating. I'm not gonna lie. Children in a fantasy novel, I love and care really deeply for immediately. And I just want to reach into this book and pull Taz out of the story because I literally, if anything goes wrong there, I'm not gonna be okay. He is so sweet and precious and innocent, and Elias and him have developed this friendship. I'm really not okay. I can't even talk about it anymore because I'm gonna start tearing up thinking about him. So Taz, love, #1 Taz fan here. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what's going on. How are there still 2 more books in the series? I mean, there's so much more that needs to be resolved, but so much is going on in this book that I'm like, what are we gonna do next? I'm just so blown away by the events, the persisting horrors that happen in this book, and I'm loving it. It's amazing. Like, so good, but also, God, oh my God. yeah, I'm just really scared to get to the end. I don't even know, have I said where I'm at in the book? I am on page 393. This book is like 450 pages, so we have just a little bit to go, and I'm really, really hoping we get a little bit of success, a little victory at the end. I know that things are still gonna be bad, but we need a little something here, but I just don't know. I just don't know what's gonna happen. That's all I wanted to say. I need to finish this book. I need to know how it's going to end, and then we will wrap up this vlog. So I will talk to you guys when I am on the other side of A Torch Against the Night. I just finished. Oh my god, this was so good. This was so, so good, you guys. Oh my god, the ending was brutal, but then like beautiful, but then who knows what's gonna happen. We have things to be happy about, but do we? Because nothing is as it seems. But oh my god, I loved the ending of this book so much. Also hated it. Oh my god, terrible things happened, but like there's just so much to be excited about with the series, and also terrified. I'm feeling a lot of mixed emotions, but what I do know is this is a very, very strong 5-star read for me. It just felt like the perfect fantasy book. Was full of tension, full of action, high stakes, romance, interesting, like friendship dynamics, and the magic is crazy. There's still so much unknown about the lore and all of these different beings and what it all means and what the final answer is and where our characters' destinies are going. I'm so excited to continue on with this series. The next book is A Reaper in the Gates, so I'll definitely want to pick that up probably within the next month or something like that. But I loved this. I'm so happy that I ended the vlog with this. Literally just like a perfect book. I have absolutely zero critiques for this book. I just love having a new series to obsess over. So that is going to be it for this reading vlog, you guys. Go ahead and leave the flame emoji and then some type of nighttime emoji like the moon or the night sky or star or something like that for A Torch in the Night. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, I did want to let you guys know I have started a TikTok. I've started posting on there, so I am joining Book Talk, and it's been really, really fun so far. So if you want to follow me, I will have my TikTok linked down in the description, but it's just my username at Ravenhaired Reader. I've just started doing it in the last week, and it's been super fun. So if you want to follow me, I am on there. Links below are still Instagram, Goodreads, my Patreon, and then now my TikTok. Thank you so, so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.